Good evening. We're at the Honest Football Podcast. For the first time, you get to see us in the flesh. I'm Craig Savage. Next to me, it's Charlie Betts, and then behind is Daniel Cody. Charlie, what are we doing today?
So we're off to our adopted team, which is Tranmere Rovers, who are away to Wycombe Wanderers, which isn't too far from us, given that
it's the magic of the FA Cup, Charlie.
The magic of the FA Cup. So we're going to see, as has been well documented in most of our episodes, that I seem to bottle a lot of FA Cup matches. So I'm putting that ghost to bed now.
This is only the second time we've all gone to a game together.
It is. So we're going to watch Tranmere. Craig and I went to watch them a few weeks ago at Stadium MK. Fell in love with the club, fell in love with the fans, and obviously they had a hard-fought draw against Wycombe a few weeks ago, and so we're going to watch the replay, because Wycombe is only about 40 minutes on a good day from us, about an hour with the traffic now. But we're quite excited, aren't we, Craig, to hear the best song in football, which is...
Tequila!
And so, Dan, does this count as one of your 92, or have you already done?
It does. This is a brand new one for me, so I'm well into the 30s now, and hopefully next weekend I'll have Peterborough next as well.
Excellent. So that's basically us. We're currently on the road. Where are we, Craig?
We are on the M1 by Junction 9 of Redbourne. Hopefully the M25 is not as bad as normally it is on the rush hour time, so hopefully we'll get in good stead.
So that's the travel news with Craig Savage.
So we'll check in with you when we get closer to the ground. But we have got a little surprise hopefully lined up if the trains run right, and that's hopefully something you can have a listen to maybe in a day or two. So see you soon. So yeah, we had a very, very fortunate evening. We managed to meet Mark Palios. So for those of you who don't know who Mark Palios is, he's the current Tranmere chairman, but he's a former player, played nearly 300 games for the club. He was also former head of the FA, and yeah, it was just an absolute pleasure to meet him and talk to him, and yeah, I hope you really enjoy what he has to say.
So we're delighted to be joined here by Mark Palios. So I just wanted to firstly ask about you and football. So obviously, what's your first footballing memory, and how did you fall in love with the game before we get on to Tranmere Rovers?
Yeah, I mean, my first footballing memory is quite interesting. It was something that stayed with me for the rest of my life, I think, because I was at St Albans School in Liskeard in Wallasey, and we would play football probably in the junior school, probably about 3 times a year. And we'd walk down to the park. I was wearing my brother's second hand, and it was probably third hand boots that he had with a hard toe cap. And Mr. Slepin was the teacher who was stood disinterestedly on the sideline. He had a 3-piece suit and a fag in his mouth. He threw an old Casey on, which gives everybody sort of brain damage now, we understand, and we all chased it round the field like a horde of bees. I remember thinking distinctly at the time, there must be a better way to do this. That was my first memory of playing
Fantastic. Football. And do you have a first memory from watching football as well?
I didn't really watch football till quite late on. I mean, I went to a rugby playing school, so I played rugby till I was about 18. I didn't start playing football till I was 14. A lot of Tranmere fans will say that explains a lot of it, but there you go. And I was 16 before I started playing. I was in a foster home. We didn't have a great deal of cash, so I never went to games, to be quite honest, until I was playing with the club at 16, and then I'd go in and get to see some of the games then.
And obviously you've led on to my next question perfectly, which is Tranmere Rovers, which featured heavily in your playing career. Do you have a favourite moment or a favourite game as a player that you remember? Because obviously one of the things we do on the podcast is a favourite game. So do you have any moments that stand out from your playing career?
Yeah, I've actually got a few, surprisingly. I mean, clearly the first one was when I was at university and we played Alan Ball. So we played Arsenal, and I was marking Alan Ball, but I actually played him as well. But it was, and I had a job to do marking him. They'd just won the double about the year before. They'd add Alan Ball to the squad. I was a university student at the time, and it's sort of, we won 1-0 away at Highbury. And there's your quiz question, chaps. What is the only English League club that's got a 100% record at Highbury? It's us. We won 1-0. And the Guardian, because I was at university, so I was reading the Guardian, and the Guardian said Palace would have been booked inside a minute, except his tackle was so late. He was booked in 63 seconds. So you could say that's my most memorable. The reality, I actually, when I left Tranmere, I was becoming a partner in Ernst Young at the time, so I kicked my heels in the Northern Premier League for a few months, and I played for Bangor City in the European Champion, in the Cup Cup, yeah. And we beat we knocked out the Norwegians, and then we lost to Atletico Madrid. We lost 1-0, I think it was, in the Vicente Calderon. So that was a fairly sort of standout experience. Yeah. But really, if you ask me what was my most memorable game with Tranmere, it has to come down to the playoff final, when we actually had 10 men for basically the full 90 minutes and a bit beyond because the referee played a bit over.
They always do when you want.
Well, they always do when you want to get off.
Exactly.
But winning that 2-1 was just a fantastic experience, partly because of what it meant to the fans, but equally the way in which it was done and the circumstances within which it was done. And that for me is probably, in terms of football, and I've stood watching England play as a chief executive of the FA, but that to me was one of the best moments.
And then the last question for me is obviously at Tranmere Rovers now, you have an important role in the community. Today, obviously, we're in an FA Cup first round replay away at Wycombe. It's a fantastic chance for clubs to go on a cup run at the lower levels, and obviously the money can then be invested in the community and the club. What would a cup run mean for Tranmere Rovers this season?
Yeah, without doubt. Tonight for both teams it means quite a bit because the revenues relative to the revenues that other clubs get higher up the leagues, this is a major opportunity to advance. There's no disrespect to Chichester, but they play significantly down in the pyramid, so we'd fancy our chances to do well against them. So it's an important match for us. It doesn't make or break us because we've got a plan as to what we're trying to do off the pitch, and as far as possible we try and make the developments off the pitch and the positive momentum in the club off the pitch agnostic to what goes on the pitch, and I think that's the key to self-sustainability.
That's absolutely fantastic, and obviously the club's on an upward rise, 2 successive promotions, so we wish you the best of luck tonight and for the rest of the season.
That's very kind of you.
Thank you very much, Mark.
It's half time here at Adams Park. It's Wycombe 1, Tranmere Rovers 0, but there has been a red card, Cody.
There has been a red card, and Tranmere unfortunately fell behind on the stroke of half time just after, but otherwise a pretty decent game, a nice ground, lovely burger before the game. Everything has been absolutely fantastic, and myself and Charlie enjoyed the hospitality, something you did join us for, unfortunately.
So obviously you interviewed Mark Palios before the game.
Yes.
How did that go?
Fantastic, what a lovely gentleman Mark Palios is. Thank you for doing that, of course. Tranmere owner obviously coming to our rescue here by helping us out. He didn't have to do it, so much appreciated. You can see the passion he has for football and Tranmere Rovers, and it comes across here. He was hoping for an FA Cup run because obviously they've got the lowly ranked side in second round Chichester, but unfortunately at the moment it looks like it's going to be Wycombe.
Charlie, as executive producer of the
Right, go on.
how did it feel being in the hospitality suite?
The hospitality suite was lovely. We got a free team sheet. Programmes were £1, and generally
It's just what the FA Cup should be, isn't it?
Yeah, you just see the behind the scenes of a football club. It's actually quite interesting how chaotic it is, but also how enjoyable it is. Just meet and greet. We actually, as we come out of interviewing Mark Palios, coming out of the press suite, it was as the players were coming in, so we literally bumped into most of the lads who are out there as they were coming off the pitch from the warm-up. So, it's really good. I've got to be honest, possibly quite a long ball game tonight, which has not been my cup of tea, but it's still an enjoyable match. Which is annoying because, to be honest, we watched Tranmere a few weeks ago and they play some lovely stuff, and yet tonight, really, even before it's ended off, I haven't been interested in playing too many triangles or anything really. So playing into Wycombe's hands, are a strong physical side, isn't they? So that's making my summary.
The goal before half time has not helped.
There was a little bit of a lack of marking in the box, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Men swarming around Akinfenwa, leaving everyone else, unfortunately. But Tranmere have got a history of winning games with 10 men, so I hope we see it again in the second half.
How do you think Tranmere will play in the second half? Down to 10 men, goal down.
I think they'll look for set pieces, get the big centre half up there. But to be honest, I say that I don't think they've had a single corner in the first half, so it's not looking too likely.
No, I think
the main reason being because Morgan Ferrier's been offside about 28 times.
Yeah,
whenever they've actually got the ball. So, to be honest, that man was born offside. It's disgraceful. I've never seen the centre half forward offside so much.
Hopefully they bring on Hepburn Murphy second half.
A bit of pace up there because that Ferrier's not holding the ball up, and whenever he does get it, he's about 10 yards offside. So, to be honest, they could do with someone who's actually got a bit of a brain up there.
We're at 5 on the offside count now, is that right?
5.
Up there.
Well, first 5 came in 28 minutes.
Well, let's see what happens second half. Hopefully Tranmere can get back into the game. And second Wycombe goal will kill it a bit time.
I am freezing. However, it is extra time because Tranmere equalised.
Well, we wouldn't know you're cold, would we, based on the amount you complained in the second half. But it's 1-1. Tranmere have equalised with 10 men. They were fantastic for the first half and the second half. Unfortunately, it's been backs to the wall, and how they haven't conceded, I don't know now. But 30 more minutes, they can hold on, and we get a penalty shootout, hopefully at the away end.
And
Charlie Morgan Ferry.
What I'm going to get after this game is a slice of humble pie because
if you refer back a couple of minutes to the half-time vlog, you'll realise that Charlie said Morgan Ferrier should be hooked. He was awful. He was offside every time, and he scored a fantastic equaliser,
in which he broke the offside trap when one of
took
them
a beautiful first touch and smashed it into the corner.
But yeah, no, I'll hold my hands up. He was brilliant second half. I mean, to be honest, Tranmere had a couple of half-decent sort of moves, but
the last 15 minutes, it's been all Wycombe.
Wycombe have been all over. But,
do we think Tranmere can hold on, or is it going to be inevitable in extra
I don't know.
time?
When you name, it's a bit
Full sub in
cliche,
the FA Cup, as Craig mentioned earlier.
If your name's on it to win it, they've rode their luck so many times here. You do wonder, could they sneak one? I think their best chance obviously now is penalties, but.
So I'm going to go for, unfortunately, as much as I like Tranmere, I'm going to go for Wycombe on penalties.
You're going to be on penalties, Charlie?
Any predictions? You might as well make yourself look stupid twice.
No, 2-1 Tranmere. I reckon they'll sneak one. Hepburn Murphy.
Decider.
I think I'll go penalties.
Who's going to win it though?
I think Tranmere might sneak. If it's in the Tranmere end, then I think Tranmere will sneak in.
Well, the other two think the 10 men will win. Let's see who's right.
Teams are back out.
Finished at Adams Park. Wycombe Wanderers 1, Tranmere Rovers 2 after extra time.
And they left it late.
They left it very late. Wycombe took the lead right at half time, just before there was a red card for Kane Wilson, which, looking back on the replays that we've seen, yes, it was a red card.
It wasn't a great tackle.
It wasn't a great tackle. It was
a lunge, they call it.
Naive.
However, second half, Tranmere got the equaliser from Morgan Ferrier, who Charlie slagged off in the first half. He didn't really have the best of halves.
He was shocking. There's nothing about it.
Offside 5 times.
Offside 5 times. And then got to extra time. And then second half extra time, Tranmere took the lead from Kieran Morris. A great strike, but Hepburn Murphy done the hard work there. Dribbled past about 3 players.
He created a chance out of nothing, really, didn't he? Let's be honest.
And Tranmere held on to get through to the next round of the FA Cup, which they'll play Chichester City.
Yeah.
Live on BT Sport.
I think to sum it all up, we had a very, very enjoyable day. Would you agree?
Yep. Brilliant comeback from Tranmere with 10 men.
No more than their hard work deserves.
Absolutely fantastic hospitality from Mark Palios, who was very kind.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
And as well, Matt Cecil, the head of media at Wycombe, did a great job for us.
Big thumbs up as well.
So a massive thank you to everyone. Both sides played a part in a brilliant FA Cup tie, and couldn't have asked much more, could you, Charlie?
No. So hopefully in the next round, as we say, they'll beat Chichester, and if they get a big Premier League club, we're going to go away again, aren't we, lads? So we'll try.
So.
We'll try. No, we'll see.
2 away wins now. We've 2 away wins we've seen against for Tranmere. Also away at Milton Keynes Dons, and now here at Wycombe, top of League One.
We'll certainly be going to see them on the last day of the season at Peterborough.
Yeah.
Charlie can't get out of it now. I've said it live.
No, but I think you were saying earlier the similarities between them and Luton, and a club we've been through a lot. And
they're on their way back. There's such a connection with the fans. The players were very excited post-match. The fans had a great connection with them. It was brilliant to see, actually. It really was great.
So yeah, I think all in all, a 10 out of 10, David. Do you agree?
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for watching this vlog with us. As this is on YouTube now, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and you can follow us on Twitter at HonestFootball3.
And make sure you head over to Spotify and watch Charlie's favourite game series, where he interviewed former Premier League referee Bobby Madley. It really is a cracking listen.
We'll see you next time.